why it is that he's doing what he's doing. Okay, okay, so let me just introduce him to you, then we can get into the story. He's McAaron Keli Ketor-Tay. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. They say real men wear pigs, so I applaud you on that.
Thank you, thank you. I like it. So, now, tell us a little bit about Black Star Revolution.
Yes.
I see a BSR on your T-shirt.
Yes, sir.
Black Star Revolution. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll get into the real story.
Okay. So, all right. Good morning, audience. It's a pleasure to be here, and I thank you for your time. Black Star Revolution is a movement that seeks to unite Africa and the African diaspora. We intend to uplift people of color globally through knowledge, business, and then direct social impact projects in Africa now, and then eventually in all Afro communities globally. I've traveled a bit. I'm originally from here, which I'm very proud of. You can see my flag. So basically, everywhere I've been, it's evident that at the very bottom of every stratum is the people of color. So it's important that we uplift ourselves, basically.
Okay. Now, what is it about your life's experience that has taken you on this path?
I guess I've seen the best of both worlds. I've lived a life of a middle class or a pre-middle, a peasant, the middle class, and now I live in the United States. So I've seen all of it. And I think what's pushing me is love, basically. A desire to see other human beings do great. And there's nothing better than helping my own people to do well, yes.
Now, you say what's pushing you is love.
Yes.
But recently we watched, on our screens, we've seen Black Lives Matter. We've seen what is it about some of these experiences that you've been through that has driven you towards love rather than hate? Because when you see some of the things that happen, you think of hate.
Yes, love conquers all. That's the first thing. And also love is powerful and knowledge is power, which is why it's one of the key pillars of Black Star Revolution. And knowledge of ourselves, what our story is, not what somebody's telling us. Effective knowledge that we can use, like technology and stuff, and businesses and systems that we can create to uplift ourselves is important. And if you see what's happening in the States, it's because more often than not, people of color are downtrodden. We don't have any power. And the lack of power comes from lack of organization, which is what Black Star Revolution is going to do. Bring those people up there, have a handshake with those of us here, build a platform which will allow us to basically do things that would empower us. And when you're a person of power, no one can do what is happening to us back all over the world, basically. Even in Ghana, you have to tell the truth.
Okay.
Even people of color in Ghana are not, the ones on top. You have foreigners who have access to everything. We don't have access. So if we build a system like Black Star Revolution is trying to do, I have no doubt that we'll be able to do those things that we dream about.
Okay, so how exactly is Black Star Revolution doing what it wants to do?
Exactly. First of all, we're building a platform. It's a movement, and movement requires activism. Okay, and most people don't realize, but the greatest resource that Africa has is actually the youth. We have the lowest mean average of young people in the world. That is the biggest resource we have. Not to talk about the continent. The continent of Africa is 3 times the size of the United States of America. Most people don't know that. Okay, then you talk about the resources we have. So if we have all these things, why are we not doing well? It means that our philosophies, our mindsets is not where it's supposed to be, which is where the knowledge comes in. And commerce is the blood of all human societies. I don't care who the conquering nations are. Commerce is how they did it. Okay, and commerce is what everybody benefits from. And then direct social impact projects. What we have right now, you have a situation where it's always aid. And when you go for aid, you have to pay sometime. But if I have a business that creates profits and I take 20% of that to uplift my people, definitely that's 100% of money that I don't have to pay back to anybody. And it comes from you buying the shirt, buying the hoodie, buying some product or services that you're interested in, or even you take a trip. And then that's what Black Star Revolution is going to do.
Okay. Before we get into the social impact, let's talk about the knowledge side of things. How is it exactly that you're trying to fill what you perceive to be the knowledge gap?
Okay. For instance, Ghana is the gateway of the world, of Africa. All right. There's a reason why Ghana is not just a country, it's an idea. And it's an idea that Kwame Nkrumah established. There are a lot of people in Ghana who don't even know who Kwame Nkrumah is, who haven't read a book from Kwame Nkrumah. Okay, he has a ton of books out there, a lot of philosophies and experiences out there that we can actually tap into. You take a book like Revolutionary Path and you read it, it's like it's past, present, future. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in this country and indeed in this continent that has solutions. He even predicted it. So you bring that to the fore, you make it where it's actually sexy for people to interact with Kwame Nkrumah. Guess what's going to happen? You'll become people like myself. They will start thinking about Africa in a way that it's not just talk, but you talk and do, basically. Yeah. And then you also have knowledges, you have certain experiences. I'm a professional, I'm a banker, so I have access to certain information that I think, like commerce, it's not really difficult to do. Like this bizarre weird thing I'm doing, it's not that difficult. You just have to have the right mindset and move in a certain direction. And it's infectious. I mean, we started in November. I'm sitting on City TV. That's how powerful this is.
Now, there's so many things I want to ask at the same time. But
excellent.
So we're talking about. So you're a banker.
Yes.
Are you still a banker?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The best way to rob a bank is to be a banker.
Okay, I like that. So now looking at the empowering young people, especially giving them more knowledge and all that. How? The question I think it's eating me up is how do we make knowledge seeking sexy?
First of all, you see, you can close your eyes and just imagine things and get a certain high that most people won't have. And that's where I think we're lacking. Okay, if you have the information and you buy it, you make it where it's not overly verbose, or you make it where it's interesting. Okay, everybody I've talked to about what Black Star is trying to do, they listen and like, okay, fine, this is really cool. It's novel. It's not novel. It's something that already exists. It's just not enough light is being shown upon it, which is why I really appreciate what you and a few other houses are doing. All right, so you have Kwame Nkrumah. Why are Ghanaians not talking about Kwame Nkrumah? Okay, why are we not talking about projects like what we did that is really helping people? Okay, so you have those bits of information that you can put to the fore. You put in the hands of these so-called celebrities, not those so-called celebrities, and then have them shine a light upon it, and then it will catch fire. I have no doubt about that. It's happening right now, so I can see it.
Okay. Now let's talk about the commerce side of things. So BSR, you have products that you're marketing.
Yes.
Why the products that you've chosen, and what are sort of the range? If you can give us an idea.
Excellent. So it's all branding. The shirt you're wearing, I can have a shirt like that. Why would you choose to buy the shirt from one vendor and not the other? Because you perceive that brand is more superior, it has more value, right? So you are the determiner of value. Okay. We chose apparel because it's an easier way to display what Black Star Revolution is. Everybody wears T-shirts where I come from. Most people don't realize, but the African American is not the biggest segment in the United States, but we consume more than everybody else. We consume luxury goods more than everybody else. But if you're consuming those things, those companies are getting the natural resources from Africa, adding value, and reselling it to you at a premium. Okay, but they're not taking any of that money to fund anything of interest to you. All right, so I chose apparel to start with because it's an easier way to display the brand, to get more traction. And then it's also a utility product everybody uses. Use caps, use hoodies, use shoes, belts, everything. Right, so if you take that, it's something that's going to move. People will buy it. You just have to perceive that it's of value. And the goal is to put this out and let people understand that, yes, you're wearing these things. It should basically fund projects that are important to you. That way you're not waiting for somebody to come and help you, but you become the savior that you seek, basically.
Okay. How far are you going to go in terms of your range of products? What are you dreaming of?
It's a lifestyle brand. Okay, so products and services, I should say. All right, so for instance, it's apparel now. And even apparel, we're just doing T-shirts, hoodies, and hats. Now we're going to shoes, going to other clothing, ladies' bags. Okay, we're going to tourism because we're trying to bridge a gap between Africa and African diaspora. How would they get here? Tourism. We still take 20% of everything we do to fund our social impact projects. There's sports. I live in the United States where MLS, most people don't realize, soccer is becoming huge. Ghana
Yeah,
is the
it
greatest
is, right?
export of soccer. There are a lot of players here who don't have avenue. If we create something that can help them get there, guess what? And that's a lot of money that can move back and forth. And then if they buy into the paradigm of Black Star Revolution, then we're good to go. Yeah.
Okay. So then let's come to the social impact projects.
Yes.
What are some of the projects that you've already done?
Yes. So the first one that we did, which is I'm very proud of because we did it in a very short time. Bizarreware went live November 1st last year. And we're able to do a very simple project called at the Zenu Polyclinic. It's in Ashaman.
Okay.
Coincidentally, that was the first time I've been in Ashaman.
Okay.
So what we did was that the issue they had there was a huge mosquito
Because
infestation
that's what
problem.
we're looking at there?
Yes, that's it right there.
Okay.
And the lady you saw is actually the one who led us there.
Okay.
So basically, they had a huge problem where folks would come in for treatment, and then they will incur or acquire malaria because it was just all over the place.
Yeah.
You have to just be in the community to see it. So what we did was to just change the mosquito netting to start, and then paint the interior of the building with mosquito repellent paint or killing paint.
Okay.
So we're able to do that. I went there last time, and the whole place is just serene.
Wow.
That said, they are also in need of a lot. You should see the place. It's, I just don't know how a facility that small is able to cater to that
Such a large
huge segment of
community.
people.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much neglected, and the professionals there are really struggling. So sales from these sheds, that I brought only 200 sheds this time around, 20% just to show that the principle works, will be used to fund those social impact project there, and then we'll keep building. Now it's just this. Who knows? We can build a factory that will employ thousands of people, and I can totally see it.
Okay, so let's break it down for better understanding.
Yes.
You're selling apparel,
Yes.
and 20% of the profits are going to
Fund.
push
Yeah.
social impact projects.
Yes.
And you chose Zenu Polyclinic
Yes.
in Ashaman
Yes.
as your first project,
As a pilot.
as a pilot.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I had a former classmate. She's actually Priscilla Champlin. Thank you very much, lady. She worked there, and so she knew what I was doing. We were talking, and she's like, "Listen, I have a place that can start. This is a project that we can. It's a very high because I'm always looking for a project that will benefit a ton of people, not
Yeah.
just one person.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the paradigm.
So
that's how
high
we're gonna move.
impact.
High impact. So it could be a school building.
Okay.
It could be building a clinic or buying beds. Okay, so when you do that, it's not just one person benefiting,
benefits,
but
yeah.
it benefits a ton of people. And that's going to be always what we're going to do.
Okay.
You can build a factory. If you build a factory, those same employees are
Yeah.
going to pay taxes. The government will benefit.
Yeah.
And then,
Of course, they will take money home for their families.
Exactly.
You know,
It
so-
trickles down.
Yeah.
All right, so if you keep doing this, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who are looking for projects like this, and then they will match what you're doing. Yeah, so then it changes the idea that we always have to go for aid. So by virtue of our own existence, our own lifestyle, we are empowering ourselves. It's a very simple thing that can be done. We just have to have the right minds to do it.
Yeah. Are you open to if somebody sees this interview and says, "Look, this is a fantastic idea. We want to fund. What can we do?"
Definitely.
You're opening to that?
The more the merrier.
Okay.
Okay, we just don't want. I think I'm going to keep this company as a full for-profit business. Why? Because we don't want to go into the NGO space. We all know that NGOs typically don't use the entire funds for what they're supposed to do. It's been said in some numbers have been given of less than 40% of what is given is actually used for what it's supposed to be.
Oh, wow.
So I don't want to do that,
Okay.
right? But if you see it either as you see fit to support something that's mega, then definitely, yeah. If you're matching what you're doing, yeah, it will help us achieve those things that we want to achieve.
Okay. Now, let's talk about something that I feel that in terms of the Ghana space, back in the 90s, we began something, I think it was started by Jacob Bichibe Lamte, called the Joseph Project.
Okay.
And the idea of the Joseph Project basically is that Joseph was sold into slavery.
Yes.
And Joseph found himself as the blessed one, having been sold into slavery. Then he became the helper of his brothers.
Yes.
So
Who
the
sold
whole idea is what you're talking about, the diaspora, the African diaspora, and the African continent.
Yes.
Right. What more can we do to help bridge the gap?
Knowledge. For me, knowledge is everything. First, you have to learn about yourself. You learn your own story, not what somebody's telling you. That's what I did. And coincidentally, my daughter, my wife, is not from here. So it's extremely important that I'm very invested in what Africa is so my children don't get lost. It's extremely important. I think this thing was pushed fast forward because of 3 years ago my daughter came.
Okay.
So knowledge is extremely important. Being aware of who you are, what your story is extremely important. And I treat every single Ghanaian, every single African to rediscover Kwame Nkrumah for who he is. I don't care who you are, how I had rediscover him, get to know what the man was about, what he was trying to achieve, why when Ghana became independent 3 years later, the entire continent became independent. There's power in knowledge, there's a spirit there that if you tap into, you can't fail. What is happening now is happening because of that. So that's the first thing. Knowledge is everything. And also, having that Ubuntu spirit is very important.
What's the Ubuntu spirit?
Ubuntu says that I am, you are, so we are. That is what we are. That is what our culture is. And unfortunately, most of us, when we travel abroad, we copy everything that we go into. More of us even forget that we are from here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ubuntu is very important. There's capitalism, which is what this is, which is why the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. But then there's Ubuntu that says that, fine, if I make it, I have to help the next person behind me make it. It's sexy, actually. It's very important that we get to that.
Yeah. Final words.
Yes.
Final thoughts.
Final words. African youth, you are the solution that you seek. You are the leaders that you seek. You are the creator you seek. No one is going to come help us. There's got to be with it. It sounds dreamy, but it's not. If we can do what we did in the short time that we did, if we hold hands, there's absolutely no way that we will fail.
Yeah.
All right, and I strongly know, I don't even believe it, I know that it's going to happen based on just what is happening right now.
Keli
Boss.
Ketor-Tay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
A pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
You've
you.
been speaking with McAaron Keli.